Hello, it's your favorite sports Unc here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. Hey, we got a very special guest joining us, a good friend of the show, co-founder of Reddit, founder of Athlos. Here he is, Alexis Ohanian. Lex, what's going on, bro? I'm good, man.
Chad, pleasure. Absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming on. We know you're one of the biggest advocate of women's issues. What went into the thought process of creating this women's only track meet, certain events, and say, you know what, I want to do something special to highlight these great women athletes?
You know what? Look, I'm obviously married to the GOAT. We can get that out of the way.
Yes, you are.
Serena Williams is, you think about it though, right? Like, it's funny. I grew up in a household. NFL was the only thing that mattered. Football was the sport I played and I loved. I didn't think about any other sport. Didn't watch tennis. I didn't know anything about it. Now I got smart now. I'm a big fan, obviously. But, at no point did I ever think that women's tennis was less than men's. And if you talk to any sports fan today, they'd sound crazy if they thought or if they said that women's tennis was less than men's. In America, frankly, women's tennis is as popular, if not more popular than men's tennis. Look at how much money these ladies get paid.
More.
And obviously Serena and Venus, they were the ones who, brought that to the world. But, tennis is the perfect example where with investment, and Billie Jean King made sure those ladies got paid. That made it possible for two little girls in Compton to say, I'm going to change my life by playing this sport because I know I can be excellent and get compensated for it. And then with the generational talent, you blew up the sport, made it bigger than ever. And look where we are today. And so it happened in tennis. And I just realized here is another sport, track and field. I know y'all are fans of it.
Big.
It's one of the biggest, most played, most active, most engaged sports. We have a legacy of greatness, especially in the American women, historical and present. So you had Melissa on it.
Melissa Jefferson. We had Anna Hall.
Tremendous talents, all of them. And, every 4 years, these ladies are superstars. We tune in during the Olympics. We cheer for them. It's one of the most watched sports. And then they disappear. And I'm just a businessman. All I want to do is see greatness continue to get celebrated because if there are eyeballs, there are dollars. And
correct.
We see it every 4 years. And it's not about charity. It's about supporting these amazing athletes. And I saw y'all during Paris offering bounties. Gold medals. God bless.
$37,000 for winning a gold medal. Come on, man.
Love that. Love that. Come on. And so, this is, I think, post Reddit, I've been really blessed to do some things in women's sports, starting Angel City, this women's soccer team 5 years ago. And now I think Athlos is going to be a huge part of my legacy. And I'm just grateful to be able to hear it, talk about it.
Yeah. This year you added the long jump. It's in Times Square. Yeah. Will you be looking to add more events in the coming years? Obviously it's only a handful of events, and I get that, but that's a start. But in the long term, your goal is to have how many events you think?
Oh, look, every time we've added an event, it's been with an anchor star. Because again, for me, social media tells the story. Obviously, as a Reddit guy, I look at follower counts. And I was totally naive when I got into the sport. So obviously I knew the sprinters. I had a bias for the sprinters because that's a quick story.
Yeah.
You don't have to, you ask a fan to pay attention. They don't have to watch for very long and they're getting an amazing show. And the longest race we've got right now is the mile, which still keeps a pretty short attention span. Obviously, Faith Kipyegon was going again for the world record.
Kipyegon, going. You got the GOAT running, so you good.
She's special. And but Tara Davis Woodhall, or I'm repping here, I invited her. She's got millions of followers on social media. She's a long jumper, gold medalist for the United States.
Yeah, and the world champion.
And a world champion, exactly. And I said, why don't you come to the show? Come to Athlos. And she said, I won't come unless I'm competing. I said, okay, challenge accepted. So we put her on actually tonight in Times Square. So I'm still coming off the high. I can't be too loud here because my babies are asleep in the hotel suite and, wifey in the room. But we had an amazing night in Times Square. Look at the clips. I mean, we had the best long jumpers in the world. We shut down Times Square. And these ladies were running. The top three are going to now compete tomorrow. There's the photos. The top three are going to compete tomorrow at Icon, to which you all are both invited. Please come. Trackside Suite. I'm waiting for you. We got Ciara performing, DJ Trauma spinning in between the races. We're going to have, the fastest ladies in the world. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You got Faith Kipyegon in the 1,500 meters. You got Keely Hoskins, the 800-meter Olympic gold medalist. You got Masai Russell, the 100-meter Olympic gold medalist in the hurdles. You got Marilady Paulino, the gold medalist in the 400 meters. And you got Alexis Ohanian, who's a 4x4 world champion and mixed relay world champion. Much of the complaint from the track community, Alexis, has been the lack of visibility. Because, like you said, the big events only happen, the big event only happens once every 4 years. So it's like they go dormant. It's like we hibernate. So we get excited, 2020, 2024, yay, yay, yay. And then I got to wait all the way to 2028 to do it again.
It's too long.
And we want to get behind you. We like baseball and football and basketball players because guess what? We see them every year.
That's
we get
right.
to root for. I've been able to root for LeBron for 23 years. I got to root for Kobe for 20 years. I got to root for these guys, but I got to wait once every 4 years to see my favorite athlete compete.
No, it's ridiculous. And you look at the numbers. Again, none of this. Don't ever get this twisted. None of this is about charity. You look at the numbers. Track and field is one of the most viewed sports during the Summer Olympics. Millions and millions of people. And so, we were quite happy. Last year, we had 3 million people on broadcast tune in. We're expecting more this year. And then our plan for next year, we've announced it. So it'll be a team-based track and field league. So instead of just one meet, we're going to have multiple meets in major cities. Think of it like the Formula One of track and field. Companies like Mercedes and Ferrari, they have F1 cars. They spend tons of money basically for marketing, right? So you could think of some great apparel brands. I wouldn't, I could point to a few you might think of that want to be associated with speed and excellence. So imagine those as teams. And then imagine now you have a way to see the very best to do it in this team format, similar to like NCAA. And so you can imagine you've got, if we just say there's a hypothetical Nike team, you've got Sha'Carri, you've got Tara Davis Woodhull, you've got so many of these champs that now get to share a team, not just around the Olympics, around a nation, but around a brand. And it starts to change the economics now, because if I'm one of these shoe companies, I'm one of these apparel companies, just like Mercedes wants to be associated with speed and excellence and hold that trophy, the Constructors' Cup, the end of Formula One, you're also going to be able to test new technology on the track with the fastest athletes. And you're also going to start telling a story, which is, look, if we're spending this kind of money on a team, Lewis Hamilton knows what he's worth because he knows what it means to Ferrari to have the best to do it. I think this starts to have a very positive impact in the way that we value these athletes. And as soon as they're valued that way, they're going to get marketed more. Their stories are going to get told. And I want to buy a jersey. I want to buy a Tara Davis Woodhull t-shirt with her name and her number and her team on it, right? I can buy an Ochocinco jersey. I can buy a Shannon Sharpe jersey. I can't buy a jersey for any track and field athletes because it doesn't exist. Not yet.
So let me make sure I'm hearing you correctly. So you'll have teams, and so these teams will be made up from men or women from all across the world. So you might have Keely Hoskins being a teammate of Melissa Jefferson, who might be a teammate of Faith Kipyegon. So would it be something like the Unrivaled League? You see how Unrivaled, like they got teammates on one team, like in the WNBA, but they're on different teams around, when they play in the Unrivaled. So you're talking about something like that, those kind of teams?
For sure, in that, and we love the Unrivaled folks, Fee and everyone. They've done a great job. The difference would be our teams would be more than likely built around a brand.
Okay. So Adidas, Nike, New Balance, Puma.
I'm not announcing anything, but imagine that scenario. Exactly. And so now if I'm sitting here, now obviously Nike's got a great roster, but you can't sleep on New Balance with Sid and Gabby. There's lots of talents, all right?
Yes.
And so now imagine if you were any of these other brands, or any of the brands really, you want to win. Because just like if you're Ferrari, you want to make sure you're holding up that trophy at the end of the season. And so it'll mean, let's say we added a couple other sports, maybe even throw in a thrower. You start now seeing a broader team composition, and these brands are incentivized now to build out that roster and to support those athletes in marketing as well as in physios and sport, all this other stuff. and I think really level up the way we think about what these brands can do. And now you better believe, just like if I watch, I don't know, watch Mercedes win a Formula One race, it incentivizes me to want to buy a Mercedes sedan. So imagine if I'm a sneaker company, how much it would mean to me to have, the top
to see these,
Athlos team, and what that means to move sneakers to everybody else, whether you're running your 100th marathon or you're doing your first 5K, like you want to feel like the best to do it. And so why wait 4 years? I think you're absolutely right. We shouldn't. There's still great athletes even outside the Olympics.
Let me ask you something off topic.
Please.
You and Serena competitive?
Extremely. Thankfully, though, not in tennis. I've never picked up a racket.
Really?
Yeah, no, and thankfully both of our daughters inherited most of my wife's athletic genes. Although, big fella, I like to say I contributed some height to the girls, but
yeah, they're gonna be tall like pops.
Yeah, yeah, but it's really interesting. We're incredibly competitive in very different ways, and it's a blessing because I think in tech in particular, we delude ourselves into thinking we're the hardest working folks in the room. The industry, look, tech's done amazing stuff, certainly for my career. And the industry thinks a lot of itself. I always recommend friends of mine, other CEOs in the industry. I say, just if you're single, right? Date a professional athlete.
Duh.
Spend time with professional athletes. And what you see, and I'm preaching to the choir here, the amount of fortitude, determination, the willpower of a professional athlete. And I have to say, the solo athletes too are next level. Yeah, I mean,
no team. It's sports. All on them.
Those solo athletes are built different. There is another level of intensity and determination and work ethic, and an incredible competitiveness. And so I knew I'd met my match because I really thought I was the hardest worker in the room and the most competitive. But because
it's a different perspective, because when you're in the tech industry or you're married, you're asking your significant other to understand your work hours and what's necessary. As an athlete, they're asking their spouse or their significant other to understand the sacrifice. So now they get an opportunity to see what each other have asked the other party to do.
Right. That's right.
So now you're like, I am so sorry, babe. I did not realize that I had put this kind of pressure and asked you to do so much more out of your.
Yeah. And I never had that fight. We have never had that fight about me putting in too many hours because
she understood.
Talking to someone who knows, she knows what it takes. And I'm not breaking the barriers she's breaking in order to be great, but still she knows what it takes, and that work ethic shines, man. And so it's fun. We're competitive, but in really good ways.
Yeah, and that's a dope thing. When you always think about people throwing around the word power couple all the time, they throw the word power couple around based on aesthetics, based on not the intangibles that you don't get to see or you don't get to hear. So it's really dope to hear the dynamic in which you two share, coming from totally different fields, tech and sports,
and combining worlds. Let's be honest. The elephant in the room here. Serena.
It's a big old elephant
DC
too. Alexis is a big,
and I'm a Marvel Comics fan. Oh wait, that's not the elephant in the room. Was it? Oh yeah. No, we're obviously from very different worlds. Even though she is a DC fan, I don't get it. I'm a Marvel guy. It's obviously better, but I know. But it's like I said, you find the commonality, and it's definitely been a hell of a ride.
We got to find y'all, because we had Benifer and we had Star. We got to get you. You got to get a name.
I tried. I really tried so hard to avoid that side of
Brangelina,
the celebrity. No, nobody. And here's the thing, and that's to my wife's credit. And she and Venus is the exact same way. Both those girls had to be so famous so early. And you've already got the pressure of having to carry so much responsibility going into that sport, the way they were total outsiders and dealing with all the bullshit they had to deal with, and they became famous very young. And, I don't need to tell you how many stories of people to whom that happens where it just goes off the rails, right? And they have always been remarkably grounded. Credit to Mr. Williams and Ms. Oracine. Like they did a really good job grounding them in that. And it's funny because like even to this day, it's never been about the celebrity part. It's like the funniest thing people don't realize is, some of the best days that I know she has and we have are some of the most boring suburban parent days, right? It's taking our daughter to ballet. It's a lot of things, frankly, that I think a lot of folks probably take for granted because they imagine, oh, well, geez, I'd want to be on the carpet. I'd want to be holding up the US Open trophy. I'd want to be doing all this stuff, which is great stuff. Don't get me wrong. But it's funny when you see someone who's been at the top of the mountain, who's had everything. It's interesting. The things that they value most are some of the things that most of us spend all our lives, trying to sort of set aside while we're trying to do the other thing. And it's those simple joys, man.
I want to, Alex, when you told your boys, man, guess who your boy dating? You never go guess who your boy going out with.
Yeah.
Hey,
were they surprised?
Guess.
Were they surprised?
They probably started rolling off things. Man, not even close. She bigger than them. She bigger than that, bro. Come on, now, give your boy some credit.
That's
so fair. when you told your homies, the guys that you're very close to.
Yeah, these are my guys. I've known them since.
Yeah, when you told them
I've known them since I was 5. That's how long they know me, since kindergarten, first grade.
Okay.
And you know what? Honestly, they weren't that surprised. And
really?
I don't know what that says. I mean, okay, let's just be. I wasn't out here, just casually dating the greatest of all time across all just to be clear. But I don't know. I think these guys got used to me doing really exceptional, crazy stuff. And even, starting a company right out of college, all this stuff. I mean, look, I think it was actually really sweet. My pops, my dad, and he was the guy who whenever tennis would come on TV, he'd change the channel, right? Because we're a football household. Everything else was like a country it was a country club hobby. It wasn't a real sport. And I remember telling my dad, and he kind of paused, and he was just like, "Wait, one more time." Because he thought I was punking him. He thought I was kidding. and he's like, "You're dating who?" And I was like, "Serena Williams." And he's like, "Okay, come on.
You don't even know her. Stop.
There's no way. You're not even. What do you know? You don't know anything about tennis. How did you meet her? That's just crazy." Yep. But my boys, to their credit, they didn't bust my chops too much. And I don't know. I think, look, it's on its surface, it's pretty surprising. And I will say the probably one of the most satisfying parts about it was at the time I had just come back to Reddit. And we had met, folks, and we met randomly to a breakfast at a hotel in Rome, of all places. And I was going to try to escape the job. I had been there for 6 months, 7 days a week. Like I wasn't, my head of comms was like, you got to go on a trip. Like, get out of here. You're just redlining. And she sent me to Rome to do the speaking gig. I didn't want to go do it, but I did. And I just pulled up at breakfast one morning, and basically Serena and her team tried to get me to move. I didn't move. And she was like, my team was planning on sitting there. And I was like, that's fine. They can come join me. And, we started a conversation. And she pretended like she knew what Reddit was. And this was 2015. She was trying to be really polite, but she really had no clue. And to be honest, Reddit wasn't that big back then anyway. But thankfully, we kept the conversation going, and she was curious enough about the tech industry that the rest is history.
Alex, I'm gonna get you out of here on this one. A guy once told me, he asked me a question. He said, "Shannon, you know why movie stars marry other movie stars?" And I'm like, "They like each other?" He said, "No." He said, "Because the other know what it's like to live in that world. You know what it's like to devote time to be great. She knows what it's like to devote time to be great. So you guys know what it's like to live in the other's world. And you bring these worlds together."
That's not bad. You know what? And I'll tell you, I will. It is obvious how much, like you said, having someone who is just so motivated on so many levels. And the role model she is for our daughters. You couldn't ask for a better mother of your children. She also taught me that there's more seasoning than just salt and pepper. I had no idea I
like
had
that.
no idea you could use seasoning other than just salt and pepper. So I've learned a lot. But no, I feel so fortunate. It's like I said, it's been a hell of a journey. And then as a fun surprise, she's actually going to be handing out the Tiffany crowns at Athlos tomorrow night.
Wow, that's amazing.
And she was feeling left out last year, and so she was like, "Hey, I want to be a part of this." And so yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun for the ladies. So on top of the cash prize, record breaking, they're getting those Tiffany crowns. It'll be good from the GO.A.T.
Well, we missed it. We missed it this year. Wow. But I promise you, we'll be there next year.
You got to. And we're gonna have multiple meets. So New York,
we'll be there. That's our thing, Ocho and I. You know, hey, we've talked to a lot of them doing the Olympics. We talked to them doing the World Championships, and we want to help any way we possibly can to grow the sport of track and field. Obviously, we're very women friendly. We want them to be the best. Alexis, thanks for joining us tonight. Tell Serena hello, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Shannon, Chad, y'all are amazing. Thank you. And
Appreciate it.
All the best, y'all.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, guys.
Tickets for the Athlos New York City are also on sale now at athlos.com. Make sure you go get those tickets. See your favorite track and field athletes compete. Hey, Messiah already said she got her cash app ready, so she's ready to. Hey, just punch it in. Good to go.
Hey, matter of fact, I think I should compete, huh? No?
Next year.
Okay.
Let them have their moments. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate you, man. Best of luck on everything. We'll see you down the road.
Thank you, guys.